today's pellet review is the RWS Superfield 2.2. This mid-length dome pellet is made in Germany by RWS Amortech. However, RWS gets its name from the previous company owners, Rheinisch-Westfälischen Sprengstofffabriken. No idea, but they do have quite a long history that can be tied back to 1855, so that's a lot of knowledge to put into their designs. Should we be expecting big things then? Well, JSB are one of the major players in airgun ammo currently. Now when you look at top shooters in HFT, you soon notice they generally shoot JSBs of some sort. And over all the Charles Racerkarts Rifles have done, JSB pellets are topping both the tables. In that respect, no, I don't expect big things. However, officially starting in 1991, and I'm referencing their own media here, not what happened previously with the owner, JSB are the new breed in comparison to RWS, who have nearly 1.5 centuries head start on them. So in that respect, then I would say yes, we should expect big things. So looking at the tin, it's a deep, very no-nonsense, high-contrast pop tin that I think looks like the inside of a German car. You have the silver-black thing going on. It does make them stand out, in all honesty. Now, this is to highlight that they're in the field line range of pellets. The silver part will change depending on the range of pellets that you want with RWS. What does catch your eye on this tin though is the sharp orange squares that tell you the quantity, the type of pellet that it's going to be, in this case a dome headed pellet, and then the weight of the pellet, in this case a 15.9 grain. Now this also changes within the field line range for the specific pellet styles. On the back of the tin is the price, £8.55, but I only paid £8 for these, which is not the advertised price. This was just luck on the day. Doesn't affect the scores going forward at all, so I'm keeping it. The head diameter on these, as you can see there, is apparently 5.52 millimeters, which we will check later when it comes to 32 sample. We open up the pop tin, we see no makeup pad, but also very little debris inside. Well, we've got plenty of these on show. You can see that there's very little split lines, and they're quite shiny, suggesting these are harder pellets than usual, but also quite a high quality pellet. At this point, let's look at the pellets more closely. We start with the head that has this lip around the outer diameter. This is apparently a second seal to help the tail seal and decrease the losses from the shot. The choke in the barrel actually gets rid of that seal, so once it's out of the barrel it returns to a normal dome head style. You can see that on these spent ones here. The balance of the pellet is very far forward, so you've got a whole 5.6 millimeters of lead before you get to the hollowed out tail part, which is a 2 millimeter piece. You can see that it's deep pan tail, not coned, so you'll get a nice tracer burst off the lamp. Check out our Facebook page, Racerkarts Rifles, for 2 videos of that phenomenon in action. Really good videos, not particularly good quality, now they're on Facebook, but they were when we shot them. The impact samples that you see there, they didn't hit the back wall, so to speak, as the H&N and the Falcons did in the blue tack. In fact, they dissipate their energy too well, I'd say, and they only drive sort of a pellet length in. They become more muffin-like in height, as you can see with that one there. Again, this sort of concludes to me that these are quite a hard pellet. If you remember with the Falcons, they were a bit like an American-style pancake, you know, brownie sort of thickness. Whereas the H&Ns, they compacted a bit more and they were sort of scone type ones. They were quite sort of mid-length. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't actually know. They'll drive deep enough into a quarry and drop it dead, put it on its back. So they're priced very cheaply with a mean cost of £7.82. This kind of makes me think that they're not going to be that good for this price. Though they are a pellet of choice on many forums, it's got me thinking that the 2.2 class score should be skewed to reflect the fact that you get more lead, which means ultimately a higher cost. So the 2.2 scoring will now go 0 to £7.50 equals a 4, and then £7.50 to £10 equals 3. Looking at quality, so we see little spread on the height, the bore and the weight. However, the skirt length does let it down. This then hopefully will tell us how the skirt affects pellet's flight. As I said previous, the mean length of this pellet is 7.64mm, the head bore 5.47mm, 3.98mm for the skirt on average, and the weight is slightly higher than advertised, which is 16.02 grains, which is more than quoted, but as it's consistently weighted, it's irrelevant unless you're an absolute chairgun fanatic. The quality weighting then is all the spreads added together, and this gives a weighting of 0.52. Delivery target shot as per the usual, indoor at 25 yards on the RM8 at times 10 magnification. Firstly, note the main shift to the point of impact is not elevation, but actually horizontal, suggesting that the variation of the skirt length could be the major variable in horizontal deviations. At 25 yards, the weightings are 14mm, 17mm, 13.5mm. This gives a mean of 14.8mm. Now, new to the review is long range performance for the .22s. This is done at 40 yards. This isn't part of the scoring, but may influence the purchase if it's a very close tiebreaker. These are done outdoors, so like I said, these are just a guide. So 27mm at 40 yards, which is enough to put a target on its back. Quick long range check of the Falcons while I change the pages over. It's another 27mm group at 40 yards, but there are more flyers in this group, which I believe is down to damage on the tails of the pellets, which is why they are flying left and right. You do have one that's dropped slightly low, which can't really explain, but again, if you look at it, it is left of centre. Enough of them then. RWS Superfield scores. Cost, you can see here, this is what we're looking at. Cost is £7.82, so it scores a frustrating 3. Quantity is 500 per tin, which again yields a 3. Quality is once more a 3, but it's only just missing out on the fact it is the best pellet in the rankings for quality so far. Bit frustrating. Delivery, again it's a 3, and the second group that hurt it was 17mm. Another group shot another day may have put that out front, but that's the way that the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. In summary then, these work really well in the RM8 at the working range of the rifle, and let's be honest, the accuracy per pound is really good. They give the performance of the other pellets in the 2.2 table. Frustratingly, they miss out on extra points by literally 32 pence and 0.03 of a millimetre. If the Remy AR1 liked them, then I'd be tempted to make these my pellet of choice, but it hated them. In fact, it really hated them, and I'd swear that that rifle is just a JSB diva. So yes, they are last in the 2.2 table, but let's face it, at this price, should they really be last? As always, feel free to comment, don't troll. Check out the Facebook page Racerkarts Rifles for these bad boys in action. Don't forget to subscribe and get alerts for new reviews. Stay safe, shoot straight. Goodbye.